This is a Dragon Blazer production.
Coming down the aisle, your podcast tag team champions of the world, Boomer and Blaze.
Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting episode of the Boomer and Blaze Show. I am Boomer.
And I'm Blaze.
And man, what a week. You know, I'm sad in a little bit because October's almost over.
No.
It makes me want to cry a little bit. And we are here live in the studio and in Ohio where we live. It was 70 yesterday. Today it's 40 and fucking raining. Yay, I love Ohio.
I'm
really
fine with the 40. I hated the snow we got.
Well, yeah, we got a few little tastes of snow, too. Lucky us. It's right around the corner. You know what it is. What are you going to do? Turkey's right around the corner, too, though. So
That's true.
Good. Yeah. And speaking of October, Halloween, which is Monday, right?
Monday,
It's that quick. Boom, already. So we're going to talk about a hot Halloween debate, and it's not the movie that we discussed last week. This is a historic debate around Halloween time. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Ready? Candy corn, yes or no?
Yeah. They have some flavored ones that are okay.
Yeah?
I mean, I'll eat it, but it's
not
like
not a go-to for you?
I'm not actively trying to buy it, no.
See? No. See, I do, but I don't even think it's because it's like such an amazing... I think it's more about the memories than the... I haven't even tried the flavored ones. I heard about flavored ones, but I haven't tried. I heard this debate on the show the other day, and they got really intense. Like, I thought they were going to go full contact over fucking candy corn. Like, calm down. It's cool. It's okay. Some people like it, some don't. What the hell are we doing here? Like...
I mean, if I grab a bunch of candy from a bowl, I'm not tossing the candy corn.
But you're also not seeking it.
No, I'm not seeking it.
Okay. But if you're on tour and you're famous and you have a candy dish in your room, you're like, no fucking candy corn in my dish. Would you do that? Is that okay? Don't let that candy corn.
I think it would be less like, don't give me fucking candy corn, and more like, this is what I want. Like, I want green M&Ms or some shit.
See, he'd be the M&M guy. Like, if I find a fucking red M&M in there.
No, I don't obviously care what the colors are. I do like the almond ones or the peanuts.
Peanut M&Ms are a jam.
Actually, you know what? I don't know if I've had a bad M&M.
Is that a thing? Like, is there a bad M&M?
I don't know.
I don't think that's a thing.
I mean I like
good.
the milk chocolate. I like the peanut butter. I like almond. I like nuts. I like the Singer. I mean, I don't think there's a bad M&M in the bunch.
Do they still make those? Like, didn't they used to have like crispy M&Ms?
Those are good too.
Those are good too.
Yeah, those are good too.
Yeah. So you can't go wrong with M&Ms. But so when you were little and you were trick or treating, what was that? What was that candy that you were like, yeah, I can't wait to get? Did you have a favorite?
So, it's probably the same as my favorite now. No, when I was a kid, I think my favorite was Snickers.
See, maybe it's a kid thing. When I was little, Halloween, Snickers, M&Ms. Those were my two, like, yeah.
I think when I was little, it was more Snickers. Now, my favorite's Three Musketeers. I love a good Three Musketeer bar.
Nothing wrong with that. See, I gotten older and I'm a big Payday guy now.
Oh yeah, Paydays are good.
But yeah, when I was little, Snickers was definitely I got all excited. But we were poor. We didn't get no damn Snickers.
I also like those weird chocolate ones that had they were like vampire ones or like bats and stuff. And then like when you bite into it, had like this gooey stuff in it.
I remember what you were talking about.
Remember,
because they weren't like a name brand candy, but I remember
I
what
don't
you were
think
talking
so,
about.
but
No.
I remember getting them all the
good
time.
chocolate,
And they were so good.
Those were.
I remember sometimes I would get popcorn balls.
That was a thing, yeah. Apples. Yeah, and then we grew up in a time where sometimes you got home baked goods and like you just take that shit.
Well, if you go like where my grandparents lived, like their houses, there's not a lot of people that go through it, just like families of the people that live on that street. But you get some good shit.
Right? It's like, I know where the good stuff is.
Like,
I know where to go.
Absolutely.
The last few years I haven't, I guess it could be where I live, but you know, you had the pandemic and everything. I haven't seen as many kids as I used to. But it depends on what part of town you go to. That is a big factor. It's not like I live in the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
In the ghetto. But I'm not in the, I'm not in the rich neighborhood. Oh, still over here.
In the ghetto.
In the ghetto. And his mama cried. I don't want to sing Elvis. What do you know?
Yeah, I don't actually know
Elvis?
the actual song.
Oh, I do.
I only know... I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Your mom fucking loved Elvis.
I know the words to every Elvis song.
There's some Elvis songs I like.
There are too. And In the Ghetto's actually one of the good ones. That is a good one.
I only know that song because of South Park.
I knew that's what was going to happen. I'm not going to hate.
Straight up doing the Cartman version.
Look, every time I hear Come Sail Away on the radio, it's in Cartman's voice in my head. Every time.
I'm sailing away.
Yeah, that's all I hear.
Sailing over the coast of the Virgin Sea. Do you remember that episode? Or do you just remember the song from Chef?
I mean, I don't remember every detail of the episode. But.
Well, if I remember right, it was the Cartman's mom is a dirty slut episode.
Cartman's mom. Eric's mom's a big fat bitch, so I mean...
And Cartman mentions, like, you know how every time you hear that song, Come Sail Away by Styx, you just have to sing the whole fucking thing. And Kyle's like, really?
Really?
I'm sailing. And he's like, sailing away. And he's like, as fast as can be, just start, come sail away, come sail away, come sail away the baby.
It's one of the
so
greatest
they do it a
things
couple times. They force Sam Hartman to sing the whole damn song. But that's where it originally comes from, is the finale of episode 1. Cartman's mom is a dirty slut.
Dirty slut.
I don't think it was in the sequel. Cartman's mom is still a dirty
This guy's got
slut.
knowledge, too. It's just other
There's
stuff.
First season. I love South Park.
You love television and movies, and it's great.
Yeah.
That's how you catch me all the time when you break out into your little songs and catch me off guard sometimes, you know. Oh, so that's the candy. Now, here's another good one is, do you have a memory of a favorite costume?
Ooh.
It's good, right? See, again, I was poor, so a lot of times we had to make our costumes.
Do you want my favorite kid's costume or adult costume?
Look at this.
I'm not going to count, because I did work at the Trail of Nightmares.
I was going to say, we're not counting our working,
We're not going to count that.
Okay, because I worked at the haunted house. It's not even in Galleon anymore.
Yeah,
but
JC's haunted house you used to. I remember that.
So you can do both. I don't think I have a favorite adult one. You're probably going to blow me away in all this.
I do.
Because...
as a kid, I think my favorite would be Aladdin. So my grandma hand-stitched and made an Aladdin costume. The Prince Ali costume specifically. And made my brother a genie costume.
Nice.
So, yeah, we went trick-or-treating as Aladdin or Prince Ali and the genie.
Cool.
So I think that probably is mostly because my grandma made it, and I'm pretty sure grandma made a couple other ones, but that's the one.
But it's also pretty badass, you know.
Yeah.
I was Jason Voorhees so much that.
As an adult, my brother had a Halloween party. Rage had a Halloween party, and we had adult-themed costumes.
Uh-oh.
Now, my brother was even better. I'll admit.
Uh-oh.
My grandma made my brother a giant penis. And I believe it even shot stuff out of it.
Whoa! So rage was raging that
night. I think she made it where you could like raise it. And
oh
stuff.
My god! You know what the hilarious thing is? Wow! Oh, I
remember he wanted to make it, and I think my mom, or I think it would have been my mom. I don't think my dad would make this suggestion, but I think it was my mom was like, well, why don't you ask your grandma? He's like, I'm not asking my grandma to make me a giant cock.
I was just about to say, that's the part, like, hey, grandma. And she's like, not only will I make it, it'll shoot, buddy.
She's like, she's an adult too, has adult jokes.
Just ask her if she can make you a dick.
So he did, and grandma was like, my grandpa drew it, my grandma made it.
Great. The whole family got involved.
Beautiful.
Did he have a box too?
I don't remember.
Was it a dick in a box?
This
dick
is
in
before
a box,
dick in a box, my friend. But for that year, I also did a costume. I got myself a Superman costume, and then I think I put like a C over the Superman logo, or at least part of it, and I went super cock, and then I like stuffed my pants with like a long cylinder thing, so it looked like I had a giant cock.
Wow. So you kind of looked like, what was that do you remember that cartoon on Adult Swim? Super Gay Friends or something like that? Do you remember that? Their
the
car
ambiguously gay
duo. You looked like him, right?
Ambiguously gay. Hey, Gary. We got this. All right, Ace.
They had the penis car.
Yeah.
Like straight. It was the penis mobile.
Yeah. And they kept
ambiguously gay duo.
The entrance to their cock cave or whatever it was.
The sidekick
was
always...
like two rocks, and they kept going to... I love the ambiguously gay duo.
The sidekick always rode on his back when they flew, with his arms around.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the villains were less concerned with actually defeating them. As like, I swear to God, they're gay.
And they'd be like,
no. They're just heroes.
We're just heroes.
Look at them. They're gay.
Oh, what a great show. So anyway, super cock and a giant dick. I can't top that. You've taken this whole segment. Like, I don't even have a favorite adult one. And as sad as it is,
you're just like, I put on a Jason mask
I did.
once.
And a flannel, and if I had some fake blood around.
Yeah.
My best costumes are when I worked in the haunted house. Like, I can't.
I mean, technically same.
I was going to say, as a kid, I thought I was high rolling when I got the plastic costumes, remember? You could be a character. It was all one kid, the mask. The hottest fucking thing ever. But when you were a kid, if you were Optimus Prime, you thought you were the shit. It didn't matter.
Oh, absolutely.
Throw that plastic costume
My
on,
problem
sweat
with
your balls
mask
off.
is I'm blind and I wear glasses. So I
Kinda
don't wear a lot of mask.
I do remember, I don't remember how old I was. One year my sister were Raggedy Ann and Annie. And that might have been probably like the coolest. I think Grandma had something
I don't
to do
know
with
if
those.
cool is the word I'd
Well,
be using
you
if
know.
you're Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Come on, man, they're gangsta.
Sure.
Whatever. He took that one from me. No more segments for him. I'm joking. Oh, he's evil, I tell you. He's evil.
Sorry, me and my daughter have been binging Chucky, so
which is
so
great
I've
to
got
hear.
that proper Chucky laugh going.
But it's great. It's good stuff, right? I was scared. Was anybody else? I was. I don't know. The assistant. Were you scared? I don't even know where he is. Anyway. And something we never talked about, but see, we have this love for Chucky. You like the sillier, What are your thoughts on the Leprechaun franchise? We didn't discuss
I like the
that.
Leprechaun.
Me too, dude.
I think Leprechaun in the Hood is
Leprechaun
hilarious.
in the Hood is a gem, I'm telling you. Like, if you like it's still horror. The deaths are still great, but dude, Ice-T, the magic whistle, Leprechaun's good shit.
Yeah, and oh gosh, I'm gonna have to remember his name. You know who does the Leprechaun, right?
You mean the
Who's
actor?
in the costume?
Yeah, Peter Warwick.
Yeah, Peter Warwick.
Yeah.
Legendary
actor. And then
he was
Hornswoggle had to fuck it up. Did you see the WWE when they tried to do? It was a WWE film. Did you see it? Leprechaun
See
Origins.
No Evil?
No, Leprechaun Origins. They did a Leprechaun film.
I think I did,
but it wasn't funny at all.
I can't remember if I don't think I liked it.
No, because they made the Leprechaun like literally a monster. They didn't do the funny thing at all. Like he didn't talk either. He was like just a whatever creature.
Yeah, no, it was disappointing.
Yeah,
I think I like See No Evil though with Kane.
Oh, I do. There were two of those. Two of them. I liked them both. Yeah, I thought they were good.
I never watched the sequel.
Yeah, there was the second one. He didn't die. They thought they killed him. No, they didn't kill him. He came alive in the fucking morgue.
It's horror.
It is horror.
Nobody ever dies.
Yeah, he came alive in the morgue.
Legends don't die, my friend.
That's right. Neither do bad guys. But they do, but they don't. We miss Razor. That's all that was. It's fine. All right, well, as usual, actually, I'm not going to start with AEW. I want to start with, we got a lot of feedback this week.
Oh.
We got some interactions this week. It was a good week for the show. So I'm going to do some shout outs.
Oh, sure.
And some thank yous and stuff. But I want to shout out to the Old School Wrestling page on Facebook. I share all our posts on there. And we got quite a bit of conversation with your preview of our last episode. The little segment with the Shawn and Razor ladder match. So we got a lot of interaction on there. So shout out to you guys. I shared the link. Listen to the show. Let us know what you think. And then my uncle. I shared this with Blaze. My uncle finally gave me some feedback on the show, and it was positive, and I appreciate it. And I was actually telling Blaze he's the one that got me to where I'm at as far as a wrestling fan. It started with my uncle, so I appreciate that positive feedback from him.
Yeah.
You drew a coworker of mine who doesn't even like wrestling in, which was great. All over the Pooh video. Our little preview of Sonny and the Pooh. That was good. And so, yeah. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for listening. Tell your friends. We're not that bad. We might get a few more listeners.
We're not. That's a ringing endorsement.
It is. We're not that bad.
Watch the Boomer and Blaze show.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. It's okay. It's all right. Let it happen. Just let it happen.
I've heard worse. I mean, and speaking of, last week was our longest episode.
Yes.
And just over the weekend alone, it surpassed more listens than the week before. So they do like our long-winded.
It could be. I don't think it's the length. I mean, it could be, but I think it's because it was SummerSlam. So
true.
You might have people that is like, I don't really give a shit about it in your house, but I care about SummerSlam
That's true.
or WrestleMania. So I think it's more of which episode it was.
He had to throw out the logical shit. I just wanted to say it was it's our banter. And all the advertising we do, they're like, I gotta hear that. They're talking about porn and poo.
It could be that. It could be
the
porn and poo.
It's my kind of podcast, right? There goes the female listeners again.
It was the female listener I drew in with the
That's true with the porn and poo. So get the female.
Maybe the females want more porn and poo talk.
I was like, see, it's not always all wrestling. There's porn and poo. It's in there. So I just wanted to say a quick thanks to that. It's very cool to see interactions and to hear from people and to get good feedback. We appreciate that. And my uncle would have told me, if he thought we sucked.
Yeah.
So he said we sounded very professional. I'm like, you don't listen to a lot of podcasts, do you?
Lie so hard, and I love it.
Hard.
You lie all you want, buddy. I like it.
Maybe not very professional all the time, but look, Blaze is a hardworking man, and he's behind all the preview videos, and he does our what do you want to call them for our episodes? The cover art. Is that what we call it? Yeah. Which is always great with the bad Photoshop.
Hardworking man.
And speaking of that, I'm going to share some backstage stuff. I didn't even tell Blaze this year yet, or this episode yet. I actually brought something with me. For the photo for this episode, it's going to be an amazing. It might be one of our best covers ever.
Oh.
Yeah. You're in for a surprise, too. You don't even know what it is.
Cool.
So he decided for indoor houses, because they're covered, they're kind of, you look them up, there's no road. So we decided to do the black, and then we just go with whatever. And last week it was in Nashville, and it was all country, so we have our cowboy hats on.
Right.
Yeah, so I got something whipped up for this week that's going to go with the theme of the pay-per-view. It's going to be fun.
Oh, cool.
But he is a hard-working man. You're creative.
Cool,
you are.
Cool.
I just shell stuff. I'm just the talent. He said that once, and now I just throw that shit around everywhere.
Yeah.
I even told him when I was talking to my uncle, I'm like, I don't really do anything. I'm just the talent. I just show up and talk. That's all I do. All right, so let's go through the rest of this here. We're going to do AEW just real quick, a couple things. Moxley and Jericho have both now re-signed with AEW, and they said they're happy. They don't want to go anywhere, so good for them, good for AEW. Something interesting with the Punk thing. So Tony Khan is working on buying out Punk's contract. The holdup is the non-compete clause. And right away you would think, if that's a problem for Punk, then is WWE interested? Because Punk ain't going to Impact. I mean, I'm not trying to knock Impact, but he's not going to Impact. He's not going to Japan. He's not going to NWA. If he's going to still wrestle, it would only be the WWE now.
Yeah.
So that's the holdup as a non-compete. And there are rumors that Triple H may be interested.
Really?
But there's also rumors that the people around Triple H aren't so interested. So maybe it's just Punk in the news.
So is Triple H trying to go with, this might be best for business?
Look, I don't want him back. I don't think what he did should have happened. It's excusable, whatever. I know at the end of the day it's a business, and you don't think Punk would draw money. We may still hate him, but most people, not the majority maybe, but there are a lot of people that watch wrestling, and I watch WWE, I watch AEW, I only watch Impact. The majority of WWE fans will just be happy he's back and not give a fuck what happened to AEW. So there's probably some truth to it.
That's probably true.
And why else would Punk care that he can't compete for however long? That's literally what's holding up this buyout. Not money, but the non-compete. So there could be something there. But that's all for AEW because WWE's just on fire, aren't they? We say it every week, but this girl... Well, it's not a girl, though.
This company's on fire!
Some pay-per-view news. I don't know if you've heard any of this, but the pay-per-views are going to be changing. Have you heard any of this talk yet?
I think so.
So day one was canceled, which I think they only did that once. And it was the first pay-per-view of the year, whatever, canceled. And as of today, now listen carefully.
I haven't heard this, obviously.
Just the pay-per-view, Hell in the Cell is gone as a pay-per-view, not the match. But there will be no more Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. So Triple H wants to move away from the themed.
I heard that. Yeah. I don't like this.
Here's the thing. You don't need to call it. You can still have a Hell in the Cell match. But one, if you don't have a pay-per-view, then you can use them when you feel the need. And two, you don't have to feel forced
to use it.
To have a feud to throw in the cell every pay-per-view.
All I'm going to say is obviously he's not going to do this to Royal Rumble.
He loves... No, the Big Four is not going to... the SummerSlam, Rumble, Mania,
All I got to say is either you have to keep it, and I would be fine if they brought Money in the Bank back to WrestleMania.
You just read my mind.
Oh, yeah.
That's where Money in the Bank belongs. It doesn't need a pay-per-view. Money in the Bank belongs on Mania.
The only issue I would say is now you have to have one for men and women.
And they do. And
that's going to be a lot for...
But here's the thing, and I know they try to get everybody on the card, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to have the Andre Battle Royal. Fair. I think it got moved to the pre-show.
Would be alright? What if you just put one of the men or women's Money in the Banks at WrestleMania and put the next one on the next pay-per-view?
Right. Or because...
They don't have to be on the same pay-per-view.
Or because Mania is 2 nights, you could have the women's one night and the men's the next... I forget about it being 2 nights now.
Bad.
And they're sticking to that.
That's a pretty good idea.
I agree with that, too. But yeah, Hell in the Cell, gone. But the exciting news out of this is King of the Ring could be coming back, baby.
I did hear that.
Yeah. Men and women.
Which they
have a tournament for both.
Kind of kept that. It just hasn't
But
been
it was
a
on
pay-per-view.
It was on TV, and it wasn't. I want the pay-per-view back, man.
Absolutely.
The good days of King of the Ring, And I'm okay, like I said, with the. You don't have to have all them themed pay-per-views, and you got so many names you can use. You have that whole WCW library of pay-per-views, the ones you don't use anymore. It's not like, please don't bring back Great Balls of Fire. I think that happened once as well. I think that was one of, what was another one? The one they did in DC. Do you remember that one? It only Capital Punishment. It was a one and done. Yeah,
I don't hate that name.
The set actually looked like the Capitol building in DC and stuff. Like it was. What run that pay-per-view is the main event was Cena and R-Truth. That's when Truth was bad, and he was doing the little Jimmy thing. That was just the main event.
So. It should have been IRS and
something. So okay, there's that. Nikki Ash has returned.
I saw that.
She's not a superhero anymore. Not even almost one.
No.
She just gets to be herself.
She's just crazy.
Yeah, bring back psycho crazy Nikki Ash.
I think they would. I think they might have.
Yeah, because that's what she needs to be. The superhero thing would have worked in the 80s, but
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it, but it just. She's got more talent than that. I think.
I just think it kind of got turning heel as a superhero. I don't know if that worked.
Yeah. So, but hey, good.
She kind of kept the same gimmick, didn't she? She didn't really do anything.
She didn't really do it, and she never changed her colors one time.
Yeah.
All right, and last night at NXT, we got to see the debut of The Rock's daughter. As what do they call her? Ava Rain. Part of Schism.
Like the Tool song, which I would assume that they use the. Like the Tool song, I would assume that they use the Schism Tool song for their entrance music, right?
Well, see, I heard that that's what they wanted to do, but Vince spent some money he wasn't supposed to, and they can't afford it. They can't afford the rights because they got to make that back up. He was too busy. He was paying for the bump and grind instead of paying for the music. That's what he should have done. But I don't know how.
But not the music. There ain't nothing wrong. With a little bump and grind. He wasn't paying on that. It was like legit bumping and grinding.
Yeah, he was paying on bumping and grinding.
I want to make sure that we're clear. He didn't pay for that song to be legally in there.
No, he was paying for the bumping and grinding. The actual bumping and grinding. The actual act of the bumping and grinding.
Yeah.
It was just hush money. What are you talking about? So I'm interested to see. I don't know how I feel about, The Rock's daughter not just being The Rock's daughter, but I get it.
Well, maybe she just wants to make a name for herself. Not every fan knows that that's The Rock's daughter. Yeah. I know the hardcore wrestling fans are gonna know, but she maybe just wants to, people to know. This is me. I don't want to be.
I don't have to be Samoan Johnson. I can be me.
Yeah, I don't want to be. What is her real name?
Simone Johnson.
I was like, it's not Samoan, is it?
It's Samoa. Her name's Zeus. What do you mean?
Well, that's brother, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, she'd be
Usi. No, I don't want to mess.
Usi?
I don't
know. I don't know the language, so.
But either way, we'll see how she does it. She's got some big shoes to fill. Everybody thinks that these kids got it made because they're third, second generation, but you're The Rock's fucking daughter.
Yeah, that is some big shoes to fill.
And it makes it even harder because people forget that The Rock actually didn't wrestle that long. I think his total wrestling career might have been 5 years, which sounds crazy.
Yeah, I know.
He did not wrestle long, and he did everything in that window and became one of the biggest stars of all time.
Do you think she'll start going, and the rain says?
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
When she starts embracing her father more?
Maybe, but this might get me to watch NXT more. I don't hate NXT. There's just so much content to watch.
So much wrestling.
And it's not just wrestling now. You got other stuff, your shows you like to watch. And, I have to work a real job because we don't make enough yet not to.
No, yeah.
So I don't have time to watch it all, but this might make me want to watch a little more NXT.
Or at least keep an eye on it. See,
that's the other thing, because I do keep an eye on everything. Like, I know it sounds like we're not prepared for this show, but like all week long, I'm checking on the wrestling news and making notes. I do.
He would literally be doing this regardless of whether we're doing our show or not. Let's be honest.
I'd be nerding out anyways, seeing what was going on.
The only difference is that he's putting that knowledge to work here.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm doing something with it besides sitting at home alone with it.
Absolutely.
Whatever. It's fine. Share the love. And of course, the best thing on SmackDown was the same as last week. We got Bray again.
We did. We
got a different promo this time. Hey, Jim Cornette, what'd you think of this one?
Hey, Jim Cornette, we don't fucking care.
We don't care, Cornette. Get a fucking life, you vocal bastard. Whatever. You carried a tennis racket for no reason. You weren't a coach. You weren't a coach. The fuck?
You're not a coach.
There's no
you weren't
place
a tennis
for that,
player. You
no
just
place for that supernatural shit in wrestling. You ever hear of The Undertaker? By the way, we're still watching that old school. I bet he hated it when The Undertaker had the urn, right? If he's not into this shit, he had to hate the urn. And the power he got from the urn. Because they did some off the wall shit with The Undertaker, but I liked it back then. Whatever.
What about
he died.
The ministry stuff?
Yeah. Remember he died? You and Rage watched the casket match where Yoko killed him. Remember? It took like 30 guys, and then he came up on the screen and said, I'm not dead, or whatever. Yeah,
I remember.
He said, I remember.
It was interesting.
It was.
I don't know. I might have agreed a little bit more with Jim Cornette on that one. That was weird.
It was
that was weird shit.
But I wish her the best. Hopefully, look at Charlotte. She's one of my favorite examples because she's one of the top stars, and it's because she earned it.
Yeah.
It's because she's got talent. So hopefully, growing up around one of the greatest talkers in wrestling, like I hope she has that skill. I can't wait to hear her do a full promo. I hope that you have that.
Right.
Because The Rock, one of the best on the mic.
I'm trying to think if I can think of anyone who might be better
than The Rock on the mic.
The Rock's up
Paul
there.
Heyman, but he's not a wrestler.
Paul Heyman is great on the mic,
but he's amazing on the mic.
I don't know if he's.
It was the catchphrases and everything else with The Rock. I mean, that was just people to forget. The mic skills are so important.
We may hate him, but another one up there is CM Punk. CM Punk is
good on it.
Amazing on the mic.
Back in the day, Flair was a good promo. Back in the day.
I didn't watch a lot of WCW.
You didn't, man, but Flair was...
Oh, I'm sure he was.
All he talked about was whooping your ass and taking your women, and it was great. And his fancy suits and his Rolexes, that he would leave in the hotel room. But whatever. But so I'm looking forward to some more Bray, to see where that's going,
Yeah.
Are we going to get an actual Wyatt Six, or are we just going to get like a split thing and get all the different sides of Bray? I'm okay with it either way.
I'm just enjoying the ride.
I am too. I like keep it going, stretch it out.
Make
us want it more,
and
and debut Bray on the big pay-per-view. Save for one of the big four. Just keep building it up until
that makes sense.
Until it's time for one of the big ones. Don't throw them in at Crown Jewel or something like that. And by the way, if anybody cares, Logan Paul trained with Shawn Michaels a little bit for his match. So there you go.
Yeah, I heard. I don't care.
I want Roman to eat him up.
I have a question for you. I read something, I think, this last week, and I want to get your thoughts on it. I read an article interviewing Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And she said that the WWE should stash the rocket on Logan Paul and let him win at Crown Jewel.
I saw that. Rhonda, you're beautiful. Next question. The fuck are you smoking?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the idea either. And I get what she's saying, they strapped the rocket to her when she first showed up.
And first and I hated her first as a fan, I hated her first run. It showed.
I think here's the difference between Logan Paul and Ronda Rousey.
Logan Paul's not Ronda Rousey.
I liked Ronda Rousey before she showed up in wrestling.
Here's the thing. Logan Paul's one of those, you make money, great. But you know what? You're just a fucking YouTuber that happened to get lucky and do a few things that got you famous.
Hey!
What?
Let's not hate on YouTubers, okay? Some of us are trying to become YouTubers.
I guess so I'm like, how dare you do that as I'm podcasting?
As I'm trying to get big on YouTube.
He's got some
TikTok.
He's got some skill. That's the difference, though. She came from the UFC. Ronda was already a badass fighter.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay? And had a bigger name. I don't really know a lot about Logan Paul, so I'm not going to hate on him, but it's not time for him to be a champion yet. No. He's, he did okay against The Miz. That match was pretty good, and he did some good things.
No, he's been impressive in the ring.
Use him as a special attraction for now and maybe someday, but you don't want him. He's getting fed to Roman Ronda. That's what he's doing. They're feeding him to Roman.
Here's the biggest problem. If he was facing almost anyone, Logan Paul be the one that finally defeats Roman Reigns
after all this.
After so many years of be the one that finally defeats Roman Reigns.
After all this.
After so many years of him having the title, not being pinned. Like, for him to be the one. Outrage.
Yeah.
It would be outrage. It would remind me of how I felt about Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker.
Yeah. Or how I felt about Goldberg squashing The Fiend in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that probably pisses me off more. I think I've gotten to the point where I'm content or okay with what happened with Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker. You know, I get it. I get why you did it.
But there's no excuse for the Goldberg Fiend.
No, there's absolutely no.
That day, The Fiend died. They killed The Fiend.
Goldberg should never win a match. I fucking hate
Well, here again, it's a business, and that's who they want to see over there. Fine, but you don't have to give them. You don't have to put your title to give them. You don't have to put your title on Goldberg.
Yeah,
if they want to see Oldberg.
Yeah,
let them see Oldberg, but don't feed the hottest act to your business to fucking Goldberg.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And I'm sorry,
shit.
Logan Paul, but they're not going to put the belt on you.
And I hope they don't.
No,
but
we know who's coming to take the belt. The real head of the table is coming.
Yeah.
We hope. All right.
All right. Are we ready to watch In Your House?
Let's do
3?
it. All right. So we get an opening package that is talking about the main event of this In Your House, which is going to be the tag team champions Yoko and Owen defending their titles against the WWE champion Diesel and the Intercontinental champion Shawn. And both of their titles are individually on the line as well. And then we get a blues version of an In Your House song. Little sounded like the Supremes or something, maybe. Like little kind of blues jazzy.
Interesting. They're coming up with new songs just for In Your House.
Just for In Your House. Because they were singing, we're in your house. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, last time it was, we're in your house. And now we're
Motowning.
Yeah, I'm not trying that.
You're not gonna, you don't want to do the Motown thing?
I'm good.
Oh, man. So after that, we get our announce team, which this time is Jerry the King Lawler, Vince McMahon, and good old JR. He's like 20 in this. We get that young JR. And
I don't think he was that young, but okay.
No, he wasn't, but I like to over-exaggerate. You know, it's fine. Then we get our opening match, and first out is Savio Vega.
Yep.
Who figures by now that we all know his name, so instead of SV shaved in his head, he's now got his little hand gesture. It's not a finger either. It's not a flipping finger. That would be better if it was just like a middle finger, but it's a little like Hawaiian.
Can you imagine if Stone Cold would have decided to do that with his hair?
Hey, I got an idea. I'm going to shave.
You gotta just put a Steve Weiser over here and a finger over there. We got this.
We got this. It's fine. And he is facing Waylon Mercy, which I'm sure you don't remember.
I don't want to remember. I literally one of the worst fucking wrestlers I've ever seen. Did you see those fucking clotheslines? The laziest fucking clothesline I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. So
the only good thing was that brainbuster.
That was good.
That was a good brainbuster. After that, no, fuck this guy.
The Waylon Mercy character was based off of Max from Cape Fear, Robert De Niro's character in Cape Fear, and is kind of like, now I'm not saying he's on any kind of level as Bray, but you kind of see that cult like the original Bray Wyatt's kind of what they were going for, that cult type leader. The problem is this is played by Dan Spivey, and at this point Dan Spivey his body's broken down, and you saw how slow this fucking match was.
Slow, boring,
he couldn't
terrible.
move.
His moves were lazy and boring. It was just...
He had bad hips at this point, so they thought maybe they'd be able to use him, and I think that's part of the reason he got this gimmick, because they thought maybe he could get away with it, but no, it was...
maybe they should have stuck with having him be like a manager, or like
something.
Have a cult of like a cult stable That might have worked for him, but
something. But this,
holy shit, I don't ever want to see this man in the ring again.
And I'm not.
And he
trying,
was undefeated before this match.
He was undefeated to this point.
They thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. So to give Savio here we are pushing Savio again. I have yet to see, and I know for sure because I've heard several. Like Stone Cold has nothing but good things to say about Savio. I haven't been impressed yet. I'm not saying he's the worst thing I've ever seen.
No.
But when fucking Waylon Mercy gets a sleeper hold on you and the crowd starts cheering and they're making like a symbol like, yeah, choke them out. That's not good for you.
No.
That's not a good look, Savio. Like, the fans just aren't into it yet. I don't think they ever are.
I don't hate Savio. He does fine, but this wasn't a good showcase for him.
It wasn't.
I don't think that's his fault. That's his
bad booking.
His opponent was one of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was rough. Like Dan Spivey was way past his prime. So it was what it was. We had to sit through it, but it wasn't too long, thankfully.
He looked like an indie star that should have been fired yesterday.
And he hit one good hit. He looked like a preacher that should be in one of those churches out in the middle of nowhere where they use snakes in the service because they think like snakes are religious or something. One of those weird like Red State. Kevin Smith type thing there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Speaking of, while we're on the subject, did we talk about this already? I watched Clerks 3.
Oh, no, we haven't.
It's fucking amazing.
But don't spoil it for me because I haven't got to see it yet.
It is his best movie, in my opinion, but not my favorite movie.
But it's best one.
But I would say it's probably his best work.
Wow. That's a good statement there. I have to check it out. Yeah, I haven't got to see that yet.
It's very good.
I'm ready. It's going to be better than this match was.
Oh, God, yes.
So, and then the other problem is, yes, it's in your house, but after the first match we saw in the last pay-per-view, after the kickoff match between X-Pac and Hakushi, this shit's like, you're putting your crowd to sleep before your pay-per-view even gets underway.
I was trying to stay awake.
God, all I can think is it over yet? And like, Waylon Mercy tried to hit a stun gun, and he collapsed before he even got Savio to the ropes, and then Savio kind of had to like flop onto it.
Oh yeah, he had to jump over.
Yeah, because his knees gave out. Like all he tried to do was pick Savio up, and his knees gave out.
Yeah, every move he did looked lazy as fuck.
It should have been called like I don't know,
and not like cool lazy like Orange Cassidy. Like
no, not like I don't want to do this. Like my body legit cannot fucking do this. I don't know what I was thinking.
Which fair? I mean. Great, but
it didn't take him long to realize that either Waylon Mercy wasn't around.
That doesn't mean it's not boring as fuck for us.
Yeah, and that you're not helping Savio any either. Like, ooh, you beat the undefeated guy that can't move in the ring, and he probably only faced jobbers up to this point. Like, he was probably just taking on, like Tom Johnson from Saskatchewan.
I'm giving this a 0.5, and I'm not adding it to it because I don't want to be any less lazy than this guy. And, he's only getting they're only getting a 0.5 for that nice brain buster.
It wasn't
only positive thing that I have in this match.
It was, but God, I'm giving it nothing. Nothing. That
brain buster's not enough to give it a 0.5?
No. Do we go negative on this show?
You've asked me that.
I
don't think so.
Never have, but I'll do what the hell I want. I'm not going to go negative, but no, it was a bad match.
It's bad. He is bad.
Yeah. Let's move on and hope for something better.
Hell yeah.
Next! Alright, so I wanted to mention this. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but before we talk about what we saw next, this In Your House was actually the first pay-per-view to happen during the Monday Night Wars. This was the first pay-per-view after both Nitro and Raw have started at this point, and this is the first pay-per-view after this has happened. So,
okay.
A little interesting,
Which we've had Monday Night Raw for, the last 3 or 4 years? Technically,
something like that.
Pay-per-view wise,
yes. So
so Nitro just started.
Yeah, and then we start off the Monday.
Well, that coincides with the fact that you said the last time we saw Lex Luger
was it. Yeah,
was it because he switches over to the first episode of Nitro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
shows up. Yeah, so it's all.
I remember
history, folks.
I remember.
I remember, and it all ties together. So before our next match, we actually get a backstage scene where Gorilla's fighting with fucking Cornette and about where's Owen. Doc interrupts to ask, hey, are we still having the main event? And he says, of course we are. And then it's our next match, and here comes Psycho Sid with Ted DiBiase. And as he's walking out, we get a video package to see the feud between Sid and Henry fucking Godwin. the pig farmer
This
with
is-
the greatest entrance music ever. And some big
The entrance music's about as lazy as the last wrestler we just watched. Sorry.
But I will say that, this match was better than the opener.
Yes.
That we can say.
Technically. Actually, I have more bitches about Psycho Sid than I have.
Well, yeah, we both
Henry
agree
Godwin.
Psycho Sid should not try to be a submission wrestler at
No!
all.
He doesn't try to apply any pressure, so it doesn't look like he's actually trying to hurt. It's like he's just putting his hands gently on your chin.
It's like the same criticism I've always had about John Cena with his STFU.
It doesn't look...
It's never locked on under their chin. When he puts it around here, around their neck, it just looks like there's all sorts of room where you could just slip right out.
I think with John Cena, though, I actually understand because his arms are so big. I think it's just hard for it.
Yeah.
It's not that I buy it. I hate the STFU.
You just get why it happens. You just think it's because of his arm size.
It's harder for him to actually pull it off.
Yeah.
Just because of the way his body structure is.
But Sid could make this shit look painful.
Oh yeah, all he had to do is make him pull back,
but
so
he
it looks
literally
like there's
just
pressure
sits there
applied.
and then looks around at the crowd like, hey.
Although I will say this, his power bomb's just as lazy, but I kind of like it. Power bomb, he doesn't follow through and slam you to the ground. He brings you up and just drops you.
That's on purpose.
Drops you.
That's on purpose.
No, like I said,
that's lazy, but on purpose. Yeah,
lazy, but it actually kind of works, and it gives his power bombs a little bit different of a look.
Exactly. And you have to do that because you just don't want to be another power bomb guy.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? But his looks different than the jackknife. So
yeah,
for sure they all do it a little different. The last ride the Undertaker used to do was different than
Yeah, the complaint is a little less.
Sid sometimes looks brutal though, like when he just lets him go.
It's just not when he does the submission move.
Yeah, stay away from the fucking camel clutches, Sid. Like you don't know what you're doing. So this was actually more of an entertaining match. Henry Godwin is what he is, but other than the submissions, there was some other good stuff. Sid did get a good big boot in. There was a spot where Sid got thrown out of the ring and Godwin suplexed him back in, which was pretty impressive because Sid's tall. It was a pretty good suplex.
Yeah, that was a pretty good suplex.
That was a nice little move because, that's a bit. And sometimes this wasn't a total. It can be a total clusterfuck. This wasn't. And thank you. We had Ted, and Ted entertained us.
Absolutely. And you know what?
And I don't even entertained us as well.
Absolutely. And you know what?
And I don't even know. Normally, I get mad at the heel. And I don't even know if I'm going to complain about the few spots.
No, I feel like Ted was within his rights because I would hate to be slopped, dude. To have that slop on me, I don't want to be a wrestler
during the Godwin era.
During the Godwin era.
Just wait, because
that was just disgusting.
And we're going to see it too. I don't remember when it happens, but one of our favorite wrestlers has to fight Henry Godwin in a fucking pig pen match.
Oh my god!
Triple H fights Godwin in a pig pen match.
Yeah, so I find it funny that you kind of had the same reaction. Like I had no intention of trying to trick you into thinking that the cheating was legit or fair. I was just gonna say
he fucking deserved it.
Right. Yeah, fuck Godwin. You just slapped the man. Of course he's a little pissed off and is gonna kick you in the face.
And you know what? Ted's somebody you don't have to take to your heel school because Ted knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
When he stomped Godwin on the outside, the ref's back was turned. He managed to break up a pin.
Absolutely.
And the ref didn't catch him. And he did one more. What was the one other thing? And he tripped him. And he was looking, Road Dogg. You gotta look.
You gotta look.
So you make sure you trip the right person.
Yeah, no.
But everything Ted did was done brilliantly.
$1 Million Man Ted DiBiase is a master work of doing the heel shit.
Yes. And it was beautifully done. Sid wins this match. After Ted trips him, he delivers a big boot, and then we get a power bomb.
And then he got more fucking slop on him. Oh yeah, that's still the match.
Yeah. Sid wins, and then we get how did it go? Let's see who came out. Oh yeah, so they're deciding they're going to slop. They're arguing over who's going to slop Godwin, and Bam Bam comes out and starts attacking Sid.
Yeah, and then Shamu comes out.
Then Shamu, comma.
Shamu, whatever.
Then Ted slaps him. Ted got slopped.
And Ted wasn't even going in the back to find Godwin. Ted was going straight to the shower. Wasn't even going in the back to find Godwin. Ted was going straight to the showers.
Yeah, Ted.
Exactly where I would have gone.
Like slop looked gross enough, but there was a fucking, I don't know if it was a plant or a flower.
There was
something growing in Ted's neck.
There's a little bit of garnish in that slop. They wanted something nice for the piggies.
Wow.
Yeah, I put a little garnish.
If we just took... This will definitely get a higher ranking than the last match. If you just took out Sid's horrible submissions overall, this was actually an entertaining match. And Sid pretty much whooped his ass till the end. And then Godwin fought back, and then that's when Ted worked his magic. Like, bitch, you're not... So it wasn't
It was better.
It was better.
But I'm only going about 1.5.
1.5.
Go, Ted, go. Fucking...
Go, Ted, go.
Destroy him. He fucked up one of Ted DiBiase's $1 million suits, man.
And it was...
Do you know how expensive those suits are?
Yeah. It was
he
not
got
cool.
slop all over it.
Slop
what
everywhere.
A dick.
Fuck you, Godwin.
Fuck you,
was
Godwin.
Not cool. I'm going to give this match 2 slop buckets.
Godwin didn't win.
No, he didn't.
It wasn't a God win. It was a God loss.
And at the end, they even played Godwin's fucking godforsaken music again just because he slapped Ted.
He's
like, he didn't win. What the fuck?
Ever.
It's literally a banjo and pig squeal. It's not. Is it the laziest? Because Isaac Yakem only had a drill. At least Godwin has 2 noises. He gets a banjo and a pig squealing. So
yeah, I know, but you could have. I would have been cool with some banjo music, but you could have maybe.
I get what you're. It wasn't creative at all because Hillbilly Jim had country music, but people liked it and wanted to dance to it because at least it had some upbeat. This was just.
Well, yeah, the music was simply just
so
it'd
generic.
be like if you were walking through a town where there's a bunch of pig farmers, you'll just hear the banjo in the background.
And the pigs make a noise.
That's as much energy as this has.
Yeah.
It's not entrance music.
The pig squealing's louder than the banjo music.
It feels like it's in the distance. Like, if you would have gone, fucking dueling banjos or something.
I was going to say, if you shut the lights off, you just think it was Deliverance. If you just shut
the... get a little bit more oomph to it, a little bit more speed to it, instead of making it sound like it's just background music in your Deliverance video game.
Because that's what it sounds
That's all it sounds like. It doesn't sound like entrance music. It doesn't sound like it should be front and center.
They could have been creative, just like Sid's music that we love so much. It's basically the theme from Psycho. Yeah. But they had to tweak it so that you didn't have to pay for it, and it works.
It works.
That's Sid's best entrance music he ever had.
Like I said, it sounds like background music, not entrance music, and it's shit.
The whole thing.
At least the drill thing is just they're going for
Godwin's
something.
gimmick and the music and everything was like Vince was just like, put him in some fucking overalls and throw him out there. I don't care what he does. Just
he's probably like some dude that's normally on Wall Street, and Vince is like, "Yeah, you don't look like that. Just put some overalls on. You're a pig farmer now."
In WCW, he had a cowboy gimmick. So what Vince is like, well, we can't do that. So let's see, cowboy pig farmer, close enough. Throwing him out there. Is that what that was?
I guess
he was Tex Slazenger in WCW. Tex Slazenger. Sounds intimidating, don't it? He wore a duster. Nope.
Next.
All right, so before the next match, we get another backstage scene, and it's Gorilla fighting with Cornette again, who still can't find Owen. Where's Leslie Nielsen when you need him?
I know.
He would find Owen. He found. Well, I don't know. He didn't really find. He found him.
He's on the case.
He's on the case.
Or no, he's not on the case.
No. And so Gorilla tells Cornette that Yoko has 2 options. Option A is Yoko can fight by himself. Option B, he can find him another partner. So what's going to happen? Where's Owen? What's going to happen?
idea.
We solve the mystery. You've never seen this, I'm sure, probably, or don't remember if you did. But I have, but it's been
nothing's
ringing a bell.
The pain that I've been watching of this pay-per-view has not sparked any kind of memory in me.
It seems like we think we're doing good, and then we hit a snag. I told you there were a few in your houses. I remembered that we're not very well. But so our next match, we get the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, against Bam Bam Bigelow.
And after the snide comment I just made, this wasn't a bad match.
This wasn't a bad match. But, the way it started off, it wasn't hard to keep going up. It'd almost be harder to go down.
Yeah.
After fucking Waylon Mercy and the pig farmer, you can't really,
Yeah, it's got to get...
You got to go up eventually, right?
Yeah.
Or hope. So and during this match, by the way, they were promoing the whole time that they were plugging Davey Boy facing Undertaker the next night. We're not even talking about the match. Don't miss Raw because Bulldog's going to face the Undertaker.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, well,
Yeah.
yeah. But this was the best one so far.
It was so far. And because of all this stuff with Jim Cornette, you know, they're talking during the match, and out of nowhere, Jerry Lawler says, "Oh, my beeper's going off. It must be Cornette. He wants me to be their partner." Jim Ross is like, maybe it's a bill collector. But that's what it was.
Yes.
I love it's good stuff. It is. Maybe it's a bill collector. So yeah, no, this was actually a good match. There were a couple of good spots in it too. Like Davey hit a suplex that looked really good, and then he was like pandering to the crowd, and Bam Bam no sold that shit. And just stood right back up, and started whooping his ass. But it was a really good suplex. Then there was the nut shot.
Oh yeah,
Bam Bam shot Davey.
It was a suplex that he dropped down.
On the
into
fucking
a nut
rope.
flash.
Yeah, into the nut shot. A
Into
suplex nut shot. That's
from the
intense.
outside of the apron onto the ropes.
Yeah. Ouch.
We had a Bam Bam moonsault that didn't connect, but still
looks great.
It's
though,
always
I told you,
impressive
it looked
when
like
that 400-pound man jumps and does a flip off the top rope.
Bam Bam could move and he was climbing up, and I just looked at Blaze and I'm like, even if he misses, this is gonna look good, and it fucking did.
A simple one was Bam Bam dropping down with all his weight onto British Bulldog, and Bulldog sold that
Full
shit.
Seizure, dog. It went
Yeah, it
full.
looked like he went full seizure. Yeah.
He sold it better than Diesel, who got really hurt when Mabel dropped on him. Yeah.
Right.
So, of course, he couldn't move, so I guess it wasn't his fault. But yeah, that was a good spot too, because Davey Boy sold the shit out of
If you
that
get
one.
technical, Diesel sold it even better because he literally couldn't move.
Because he was paralyzed. Fuck are you doing? I guess, yeah, you're right. So yeah, but no, this was, it was entertaining. It was a good match. Even with there were some sleeper holds, there were some leg locks, but Bulldog was working the leg, you know, trying to...
Yeah, and who the hell actually wins with a sleeper? British Bulldog put the sleeper on Bam Bam and
doing the classic arm drop, yeah.
Arm goes up the second time, drop. Oh, do you think it's actually going to drop this time?
No.
A face has got a sleeper hold. Do you think he's going to drop?
Of course
no.
he is. No.
He stops it in the
it's
middle
not.
and is like, somehow, out of nowhere, has power. But this is the disbelief when we
This
go
is
in
what
as
it's
wrestling
about. This
fans.
is what we want. Yeah.
You
this is
sell
what
it. We don't care. We
That's
don't care.
right.
It makes no sense, but we don't care.
But we don't care.
We don't care.
Just wait. I saw a video the other day. Someone was sharing clips from the Shawn Hogan match. I can't wait till we get to that. The oversold.
Oh, I
can't
cannot
till we
wait.
get to that
I am
fucking
so
match.
excited about that.
Oh, the crowd was so into it too.
Oh, and then we also got Bam Bam doing that very impressive Enziguri.
Oh, he did.
Holy
and,
shit.
And it takes two, because not only did he hit it well, but the way Bulldog flipped over and stuff after he got hit with it, the timing was perfect. Yeah, that looked really good too. It's Davey must not have did the coke before the match. He must have.
No coke this time.
No coke.
And then,
no coke before the match.
Then the finisher.
The finisher out of nowhere with the power slam. It wasn't his up on the shoulder power slam. It was more like the Ron Simmons over power slam. But it was
I mean, on such a big dude, it was very impressive.
It was very fast, very clean, almost like Dustin does. Almost one of those kind of power slams. Yeah, very impressive. Good match, best match so far.
Oh, I mean, it's not even a question. I'm going to give it.
You didn't think about it.
Ooh, shoot. You know what? I'm going to give this 3 failed moonsaults.
3 failed moonsaults. I'm going to give this 3 suplex nut shots.
Oh.
Ouch.
Oh damn.
So yeah.
Can I go back to three slam seizures?
Dude, it was great. Like the selling.
Yeah.
So far, the best match of the night, no doubt. And because it's in your house, we're actually halfway through. There's 3 matches left. We were halfway through this already.
That's quick.
Yeah. So let's see what's next. All right, so before the next match, they show the Superstar Hotline, and back there talking on the phone is Henry Godwin and a slopped Ted DiBiase.
He didn't go.
You thought he went straight to the shower, Ted?
He should have gone straight to the showers. I would have gone straight to the showers.
He took some phone calls. He must have got paid good for like some hush money from taking those phone calls. 'Cause I would have went straight to the shower.
Vince decided to give it to someone other than the girls?
Maybe. And then we get a commercial for the WrestleMania special on Fox. Like, yeah, I don't remember this.
It's a WrestleMania replay is what it was.
But I'm guessing it's probably a shortened version. First of all, though, don't promote it as the greatest show of the year because WrestleMania 11 sucked ass.
At all?
No. There was one good thing about WrestleMania 11, Pam Anderson. That's the only good thing about that WrestleMania. That was it. So then we get this presidential music, and man, your favorite superstar of all time comes to the ring. It's Mr. Bob Backlund.
Fuck me.
Yeah, with his and he's holding an encyclopedia. And I swear when he came in the ring, the first thing he said was, "Don't masturbate me." Is that what he said?
Exasperate.
Oh, I misheard. I thought he said, "Don't masturbate me." I'm like, whoa, Bob.
This motherfucker comes in here with all the energy of your racist grandpa.
In his encyclopedia and throwing around all these big words.
Yeah, this is clear.
Just ridiculous fucking huge words that nobody uses in normal conversation.
I don't even remember what the fuck he said.
Me neither, because they were just ridiculous.
I just remember him being out there like, "Get you fucking kids off my lawn!"
Yeah.
I'm Bob Backlund! Nobody fucking cares!
Only his chihuahua is allowed to shit on his lawn, buddy. I'm just saying. So he says all these big words, he talks a bunch of shit, and then he introduces Dean Douglas. So after the crappy critiquing of matches the last show, we get to see Dean fight this time. And he came down to like collegiate music, like he's a...
I will say that this match was decent enough where I actually forgot stupid-ass Bob Backlund was even there.
See? He totally.
It was actually a good match.
Yeah, it was. And Dean actually came out and started talking shit, and then he said, "Allow me to introduce my opponent and the loser, Razor Ramon."
And he was right.
Yeah. And Razor came out. Razor charged in right away too. Like he didn't even get his pyro. You saw the guy at the back pulling
Razor
out the...
really, really hates teachers.
He does. He must have had a bad experience at school.
He just doesn't like smart people. You know why people don't like smart people, don't you? Razor's a dumbass!
Wow. Wow, he went there. I mean, I was going to say because dumb people don't like smart people, but I was going to... You know what? Him and Savio struggled in the streets of Miami, so just leave him alone. Okay? Just leave him be. But it was a good match. I mean, it was a back and forth. Both men were working body parts. Razor did that hip toss with Dean and threw him right over the fucking rope.
Really
like
cool.
Cleared it. That was a really
good hip toss over the rope.
That was a good spot. Razor worked the arm a lot of the match. They were outside at one point, and Dean hit this knee into Razor's back and then drove him into the stairs, and then he picked him up to put his back in the post, and he struggled a little bit. Razor's a big guy.
Yeah, he's not small.
I didn't realize how short. I'm not going to say small because Dean gets bigger, but Dean's pretty short. I didn't realize how Dean Douglas, how short he was, and he struggled a little bit picking up Razor. Like, fuck, you're a little heavy guy. But good back and forth match, good actual wrestling in the match. So we found out that Shane Douglas can wrestle, he just can't talk.
No, Dean he's Douglas, not good on the mic.
Dude, I'm telling you later.
But he was decent in that match.
If you look up some ECW stuff and check out the franchise Shane Douglas, that's when he finds his voice. Like he was, once he's a real bad guy and a real nasty heel, he's real good on the mic. It comes later on, but you know.
But not when he's an intellectual.
Not when he's in WWE.
I think there's the problem with if you're going to do an intellectual heel, you need to really be in sound intellectual. You can't. You can't fake that.
And the genius, it wasn't just his poems. It was everything. It was his voice, the way he spoke and articulated, you know. Where Dean's just kind of, I mean, he's out there talking shit, but you don't really sound like you're anything special.
At least when Bob Backlund's trying to use all those big words, it's clear they're doing a story that, he's got this Webster or thesaurus or whatever. Yeah. That's where he's getting all these big words.
Exactly. And he may run for president.
So they made it clear that he's not actually smart, but he literally brought a dictionary.
So he can look up words and throw them around. Yeah. So he can sound like he's smart. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's an alright gimmick. I guess it's a good gimmick if I had any love whatsoever for Bob Backlund.
But he can't fucking stand Bob Backlund.
Oh my gosh, he is like
he's got that Jeff Jarrett hate for Bob Backlund like I have. Like, Jesus, Bob Backlund.
He's the worst in the ring. He's the worst at talking. He looks like Humpty Dumpty should have fell off a wall.
Do you know Even though it was the bow tie one, you see he said Humpty Dumpty. I think he kind of looks like Howdy Doody. Remember Howdy Doody? Remember the doll Howdy Doody? That's who he looks like right there. It's Howdy Doody with a dictionary.
That actually fits because he looks like some relic from the fucking 60s that needs to go back.
Go back.
Go back.
Go back where
to
you
the
came from.
60s.
So we get to a spot in the match where Dean pulls Razor right into the ref and they headbutt each other. You can kind of hit her smack, you know. And we're both watching, and I'm just like, what was the point of this? Because Shane Douglas just kind of went for a finisher, but he's doing nothing. Dean Douglas, whatever. He's doing nothing dirty. I'm like, what the hell's the point of this? And Razor gets him up, hits the Razor's edge. He goes to pin him, and of course the ref's being distracted by Bob Backlund. And then comes the fucking 1, 2, 3 kid came in the ring and counted the pin.
Yeah, this was a weird end.
What are you doing? What do you, and Razor gets up and he's kind of mad, and I don't blame him because you're not a fucking referee. What are you doing? So he threw the kid out of the fucking ring, and while the ref's still distracted, Dean Douglas rolled Razor up, got a handful of tights, and got the 1, 2, 3. And then Razor very angrily threw the kid back in the ring and wanted to whoop that ass.
He did want to whip
He did. He didn't get a chance because security broke it up. You asked me if I remember this, and I don't, but it's got to be a heel turn. This has to be where they decide to turn the kid. Has to be.
Do you remember prominent 1, 2, 3 kid?
I remember him turning heel. I do remember him turning heel. I don't remember that. I remember him and the Razor story. And I'm pretty sure the kid ends up being the heel, but I could be wrong. But we'll see. I mean, that was kind of heelish right there.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. You're the 1, 2, 3 kid. Why wouldn't he go in there and count 1, 2, 3?
Right. If anybody knows how to count to 3, it's the kid. It's his whole
it's
fucking
on his
gimmick.
fucking tights.
Right.
1, 2, 3.
Right. So if he can't count it, who can? Razor threw him out pretty fucking hard, too.
Not fucking Bob Backlund unless he has a fucking book.
Yeah, and then he's going to say all the fucking number, he's going to count in like French or something. He's not even going to do it in like regular English. Fuck Bob Backlund. Overall, though, good match, entertaining. Interesting to see where this goes next, because I know we have an In Your House again after this.
Yeah, I believe so.
In Your House. So I'm interested to see where this storyline goes with Dean. This isn't obviously going to be over. Razor's going to want some revenge on that and on the kids. So
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where that goes. I'm going to go up a little bit over the last match. I'm going to give this 3.5 1, 2, 3 counts.
I'm going to go with 3.5. Get the fuck off my screen, Bob Backlund. You piece of shit. Go back to the 50s or 60s or whatever fucking decade you belong in, because it's not now. Or the 90s.
Do you hear this Backlund rage? So the only thing that could make
Backlund.
the next pay-per-view better is if we get a Blue Brothers match where they're managed by Bob Backlund. Or maybe a 6-man tag.
Okay, so I don't hate the Blue Brothers. I just don't give a shit about the Blue Brothers.
You hate.
I hate
You have a
Bob
disdain
Backlund.
for Bob
Like,
Backlund.
Bob Backlund needs to get the fuck off my screen right the fuck now.
Go find something else to do, because nobody's going to vote your ass to be president, that's for sure. It worked, though, for the match. I mean, it kind of did. He's got that kind of Dean Douglas. They kind of got the same thing. I guess it worked for the match, whatever.
I mean,
Bob
I guess
Backlund
at
for
least we
president.
didn't have to see him in the fucking ring.
Right, it could have been like a 30-minute Iron Man submission, throw your towel match or something we had to sit through. So be grateful for that.
I'm going to puke.
So far, every match has been a little bit better.
That's true.
In order. So we'll see if that continues.
I gave this, 3.5? Yeah, a little
yeah,
bit
so
better.
every match has gotten a little bit better.
Every match is slightly... It went really low, though. It started
It had
out
a
really
low standard.
fucking low.
It did. It had
And
a low
it's
standard.
slowly, gradually getting better.
Yeah.
But now it looks like we're going to get... I was so fucking excited about this main event.
Well, we're not there yet.
Right fucking now. Did you mention the fact
Speaking,
that...
I didn't mention this. This was great, too, but last match, they showed Cornette backstage talking to Sid because he's trying to find a partner. So this match is going on, they cut backstage, there's Cornette. Right away, Blaze says, "Oh, fuck me." Because Cornette's back there talking to Mabel.
Fucking Mabel.
I mean, he got really like... And it went over...
Yokozuna
first it was just
and Owen Hart versus Diesel and Shawn Michaels. Hell of a booking. Okay? Hell of a booking. And you're going to replace one of the best in the fucking world, Owen Hart.
With King Mabel.
Fucking King
He really
Mabel.
was. He was like, fuck me, not fucking Mabel. God. Ugh. We don't know yet. We're not to the main
I'm
event.
a pissed off Blaze right now.
He is a pissed off Blaze. He's got to
I
deal with
hope
fucking
this isn't the
Backlund.
case.
Then you have the nerve to show fucking Mabel backstage. trying to replace Owen
Although
Hart.
I don't know who the fuck you replace Owen Hart with in this match. Like, who...
The problem is Shawn Michaels can't wrestle on both teams.
I mean, I'm basing this on who's in there already.
Who they can use.
So
I thought you were just saying, like, in general, who could they...
And then just thinking about heels...
And everybody...
Unless Bret Hart decides to go heel and takes Owen's place.
Sid would be wrestling again if Sid did it.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
And the only other person there that I know of in Cornette's camp is the Bulldog, and he's already wrestled.
Okay. I think it's not going to be anybody in his
I don't think
camp.
it'll be anybody that's already wrestled. I don't remember this. I don't remember what happened.
I just hope to fucking God it's not Mabel.
Yeah. I don't
think that fucking ring can handle it.
Probably not. Could you imagine Yoko and Mabel together?
Oh my
You
God.
thought the Natural Disasters were a big team. Damn.
Imagine Shawn and
You'd have to
Diesel trying
reinforce
to,
it.
like, slam both of them to the ground at the same time. We'd lose the damn ring.
Yeah.
It'd be like when the fucking Big Show destroyed the ring.
That was with Braun, wasn't it?
I think
Well,
so.
it was more than once, but yeah.
It's happened a few times,
It's happened
actually.
a couple times. Big Show stayed the fuck out of the ring. There was the Hell in the Cell, too. He broke he broke the cage with Braun, too. That was pretty cool. But
Yeah, Big Show's whole thing was just break
all the
set. Just break the
Break
ring.
everything.
Break it all.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's get this next match. Hopefully it's better.
See what's
And
next.
hopefully Mabel's like, I don't want to do it.
I can't. Guys, I'm busy. I almost
I'm
got
busy
fired
doing
last time.
kingly things,
Kingly
which
things.
is not fucking being in the main event. All right.
All right, so before the next match, we get a commercial promoting the next pay-per-view, which is another In Your House, and they're talking about how we're going to get the Mabel Taker rematch, which the whole world's definitely waiting for that.
Is that No, it's Survivor Series.
And then Gold Dust debuting in the next In Your House. We're about to get us some Gold Dust. And dude, this is...
Gold Dust.
Like, if you don't remember original Gold Dust, this is, slap you on the ass and blow you a kiss Gold Dust. Like, very sexual Gold Dust when he starts out.
That's the Gold Dust I remember.
Yeah. So then we get Doc in the back. He's pushing some Shawn Michaels gear. Barry or Brady or whatever the hell his name is isn't here. He must not do small pay-per-views. Barry's like, nope, not in your house, nope. And then after that, he's going to interview Shawn and Diesel, and it's a good interview. Of course it is, because it's Shawn and Diesel, but I hear music start playing. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? They cut from that, and they cut to the ring, and our next person's already in the ring. Like, they were, fuck you, you're not even getting your entrance. We're not covering that. And who is it? None other than the pirate, Jean-Pierre Lafitte.
Arr!
And he has stole Bret Hart's jacket.
What?
Yes.
A pirate stole some shit?
Stole Bret Hart's
He
jacket.
stole some booty?
He stole some booty. And, you probably didn't recognize
that is
him.
completely out of character.
I was talking to Blaze during the match, but later on, Jean-Pierre Lafitte actually becomes the other Quebecer, along with the Mountie. They become the Quebecers. And Jean-Pierre Lafitte's actually still wrestling today.
Wow.
He is PCO. Have you ever heard of PCO?
No.
No? So he calls himself something, the Perfect Creation 1 is what the PCO stands for, and he basically does like a Frankenstein gimmick.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his gimmick now.
So he goes
PCO,
from
he's still around.
Pirate
to a Canadian
Mountie
to a
Frankenstein.
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Your Honor.
No, that makes sense.
But he won the Ring of Honor World title, and, he's in Impact, so I guess, he's still around.
Sure.
So there we go. But aside from that...
Impact, where wrestling goes to die.
Where wrestling goes to die. By the way, fun fact, Impact has now been around longer than WCW existed. So what do you think about that? Isn't that crazy?
Well, now I feel like
what always blows my mind, like they have some talent, but I say it all the time, what blows my mind is if you're not on a channel that everybody gets, how do you even keep an audience? That's
the only thing I can think of is...
Now, they have an app. They do have an app, but you have to buy it. You know what I mean? So,
I'm thinking the reason it's able to... it's because they don't directly try to fight... WCW hardcore tried to face off against...
True.
WWE.
Impact only tried it once when they brought in Hulk Hogan, and it didn't last. Like, they moved their show to Monday night on purpose to try to go,
Yeah.
But you're right. You don't compete, you survive. You be your own company, you don't worry about what the other one's doing. It's probably part of it. But yeah, I just heard that the other day.
AEW tries to compete, but AEW's a little better than...
It is. And again, there's that you're on TNT, you're on TBS. Impact's on Access TV.
I don't know what that is.
I don't have that with my current television service.
I don't care.
So,
I'm not going to watch it anyways.
but even like NWA, if that's your thing, you can watch it on YouTube every week. It's the only place NWA is, but YouTube is more accessible than Access TV. By the way, breaking news from Impact, they signed a former WWE star and it may change the game. Fandango is now an Impact.
Oh.
Do you remember Fandango?
Yeah, I know Fandango.
He's now Diddy Dango. I don't know. It's something stupid. Anyway.
The only reason I care about Impact is because Madman Fulton's on there, and I've met Madman Fulton, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. But anyway, we get to this match, and I'm not going to complain. This was a Bret Hart made the Pirate look good.
Yeah, no, I mean
it was a good match.
So a lot of these matches have escalated. I don't know if this one escalated. I feel like this is more of a mountain range.
Yeah.
Where it went down a little bit. It's not quite as good as the last couple.
Yeah. But Bret was in there, which helps it.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it was bad.
Dude, but right away. Bret tried to run out of the ring and dive onto Jean Pierre, and he almost went completely over him. Like, he overshot. Bret could have died.
Bret could have died.
And you made the good point out that this has been a show full of first-time pay-per-view appearances.
Oh, yeah.
Which I didn't bring up at all, but this was Dean Douglas's first pay-per-view. This was Jean Pierre's first. There was another Waylon Mercy's.
Waylon, whoever gives a shit, Mercy.
So, yeah, we're throwing in the new talent with the established stars is what we're doing. That's what In Your House is all about. But decent
I
match.
guess that makes for In Your House, but...
They had a double collision towards the end. The classic, the wrestlers hit each other and they both end up down. Earlier in the match, Bret had tried to put a sharpshooter on and couldn't. Jean Pierre was actually countering everything. He countered Bret's Bulldog twice. Bret couldn't get his elbow, off the... So this time they double collide and they're on the ground. Bret actually put the sharpshooter on while they were laying down and then rolled over and then got the submission.
I just kind of hate that we're the next match is the main event, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still don't know. It looks like British Bulldog based on this.
What the screen's paused on? We still don't know about Owen. Where's
Bulldog's
Owen?
About to do double duty. Maybe, I don't know, but so we didn't have Hunter Hearst Helmsley because
he was a dark
in
match.
A dark match.
And they didn't include it. Yeah.
It doesn't look like we're getting Undertaker.
Dark match.
Oh, dark match.
Yes. So I've noticed with all these In Your Houses that you only get 2 hours of pay-per-view, but it looks like they almost fill the card as if it's a normal pay-per-view and we don't get the rest of them. There were actually 4 dark matches for this.
I'd like to know.
The Undertaker's dark match was fucking Mabel, by the way.
Oh, so Mabel's already wrestled too.
Ahmad Johnson against Skip. We haven't seen Ahmad yet on any of our pay-per-views.
No, but I remember Ahmad.
And actually, Gold Dust was in a dark match, even though he hasn't even wrestled yet. But he was in against Bob Holly.
Since they're Spark Plug, since they've been,
and then Triple H beat Fatu. So there were 4 dark matches, and they're all about. Well, one was real quick at 5 minutes and 30 seconds, but the other 2 were about 10 minutes each. So that's almost 40 more minutes of wrestling. So basically, you still got a 3-hour pay-per-view if you were there.
That's cool and all, but why the fuck did we get Waylon Mercy?
Waylon Mercy.
And not fucking...
Bret, or not Bret, but Taker or Triple H.
Taker or Triple H. Yeah. Triple H I get. I get Triple H, because he's still new, so I guess right now you don't know the star you have in him yet.
Not yet. Yeah,
Not yet. I don't think his star is bloomed yet. Undertaker, you fucking know who you have. And as much as I don't give a shit about Mabel, you've been trying to build something with Mabel.
And he's not on this pay-per-view at all.
No, he was on this pay-per-view.
In the backstage,
talking to them.
But that's supposed to be your next. Remember, the Vince might still be mad. He almost got fired after he fucked up Diesel at the last pay-per-view. So maybe
that's true. He could be. But why you gotta punish fucking Undertaker?
Right, exactly. Look, the Undertaker's gonna get punished plenty more. Don't worry. He's had some bad opponents. Over the years. He's got to deal with Mabel. He's got Common, Bundy, and come on, Giant Gonzalez. I don't have to live through that. You had to.
Fucking Giant Gonzalez.
So,
all right, yeah. Back to this match.
Yeah. Like we did say, they kept going up. This one didn't really go up. It didn't go that far down either. It was a good match. It was decent. Poor Bret just gets stuck. Last time it was Isaac Yankem, Kane. That was his last opponent. But I'm gonna give this 3. sharpshooters. I'm taking the easy way out. He won with it, though, so.
I'm going to give this 2.5.
Arr, booty stealer.
Arr.
Now you have a pirate and you have Savio. You're not going to have hubcaps or jackets. You're losing everything.
Aw.
And Blaze was really mad, too, because he talked about how wrestlers don't properly use jackets, and it pissed him off. They wear them just to look cool.
Wait a minute. I was just pointing out that whenever you see a wrestler come down the ring in a jacket, it's not like they're using that jacket for it's window dressing.
It's window dressing, yeah.
It's to look cool.
It's just to look cool,
because Bret Hart puts on that jacket over that singlet where he's barely covered. That jacket ain't doing shit.
It's like, dude, you put that on straight after the pirate. You don't know where that pirate's been. And you just put that jacket right on. There could be booty juice on that jacket.
There is.
We're to our main event already, and like you said, we're going to see what happens. By the way, I'm going to mention real quick that I got to have a fanboy moment no one will know about, but live right here in the studio, we had a run-in. We just didn't record it. Drunk Summer here in person. I got to meet her.
Well, she was Sober Summer.
She was Sober Summer, but I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard her show, but if you haven't, that's her for real. I laughed. She was talking, I don't know, 5 minutes, and I'm like, shit, it's like I'm listening to a podcast.
Oh, you're ruining the secret here. Shh. The secret that we're just regularly ridiculous without the alcohol.
No, that only happens in the studio, though. That's not in real life. Do you think I'm this sunshiny outside of work? Or outside of the studio? That's it, outside of work. I wish this was work. If you would like to sponsor the show, please email us at Anyway, let's see what's going to happen. We got Bulldog on the screen. He may be the partner.
We'll get sponsors. We'll get BP right after an oil spill.
That would be our luck, right? We'll get food products right after they're recalled.
Now, don't get me wrong. We are shameless. We will
plug anything.
We will accept if you have a very dark secret. We're not going to protest that.
Listen,
shit.
I know where all the good money is. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I know where the money is. It's in the dick pills.
You know what, Vince McMahon? We will promote you all you want and all of your escapades.
Do you need to keep a female partner quiet? Let us tell you about Hush Money. Hush Money's the easy way.
Hush Money might be right for you.
For you. It's good stuff.
Do you not want that woman telling everyone your secrets and how big your penis is? Hush Money's for you.
Hush Money's for you. Is she keeping you from properly doing your job?
By looking hot?
Looking hot?
How dare her come in here looking sexy?
How dare you? Wait till we get to that. Wait till we get to Trish. Trish Stratus. She looked hot all the time. Don't we have a main event? What are we doing here? We were pushing Hush Money.
Let's go.
Let's see what happens. All right, so before the match, like Blaze had guessed, where the screen was paused, it was Jim Cornette announcing that the British Bulldog will be taking Owen's place in the main event. And by the way, in real life, Owen, had to be thrown together at the last minute. Owen wasn't there when the show started because his wife was giving birth to their second child. So he legit wasn't there. And that, I told you, it was funny because when this match started, the Bulldog came out with Yoko, but there was only one belt there. The other belt wasn't there because wrestlers take their belts. There was only one tag title.
So Owen had the belt.
Owen had the belt because you travel with your belt. So there was no belt there. So we got the Bulldog and Owen came out first. And then, actually before the match even started, we got Alondra Blaze real quick. She was selling merchandise. That's where she is now. You lost to Bertha Faye. Now you're selling shirts. You're going to be throwing the belt away in the trash here in a few weeks, but
I kind of see why.
Or in a year, yeah.
Lose to Bertha Faye, and then
so then Shawn and Diesel come out, and there were a lot of good spots. Come on, it's a Shawn Michaels match, you know.
Oh yeah.
And the Bulldog.
There was obviously the obligatory throw Shawn into the turnbuckle, and he flips all over the place.
He took a nut shot. Almost everybody has taken a nut shot from these ropes tonight. I don't know what's going on. The ropes are very mad. I don't know what's happening, but.
For all the women Shawn gets, you got to wonder how well he can perform with all these nut shots. Because he takes a lot.
He takes a lot of nut shots.
He takes a lot of, that seems to be one of those signature moves is to
who the fuck did that?
Land
were you in
on
the back
ropes.
I got an idea. My signature move is going to be nut shots. No, that's not.
Well, that's
into the ropes.
The anti-signature,
anti-signature move.
Well, he has a couple. There's the nut shot. There's the throw into the ropes or the turnbuckle and flip all over the place. Yeah.
He had this spot where Yoko went to... Who was he trying to bonsai drop? Diesel or Sean? Sean. He was going to bonsai drop Sean, and Sean moved.
Oh, yeah.
That looked worse than a bonsai drop.
My ass hurt.
Yeah. Shit. That didn't look good. There was another spot where fucking Bulldog pulled up Diesel to suplex him, and he couldn't hold him up. He dropped him. Yeah. So then he did it again right away because he was kind of mad. Fuck you guys. I'll show you. But that bonsai drop looked painful. Towards the end of the match is when things started getting crazy, so I was waiting. Yeah, once the refs started losing control, I'm
I enjoyed the using British Bulldog as a weapon.
Yeah,
tossing him directly into Yoko.
Into Yoko, and then the Bulldog, he falls, and then Yoko falls on the fucking Bulldog.
Yeah,
just flat, and
then the seizure,
dude. The seizures again.
British Bulldog did the seizure thing again.
I don't remember Bulldog selling so well, but kudos to Bulldog, buddy, because that right there, his legs.
Well,
were just
number one. I don't think he had to sell much. You have Yokozuna fall directly on top of you.
We talk about this every pay-per-view. He's out there killing people.
Yeah, he's dead. I saw the seizure. He died.
Maybe hurting people, but Yoko's killing them legitimately.
He's murdering the fuck out of
Bulldog is dead. Ring. Well, he really is now, but that's not that's not here or there. So the chaos starts happening, and we know something's going to go down. And the next thing you know, while all this chaos is going on, here comes Owen. Owen's back, and he just runs down the aisle, and we're both like, okay, but he can't just get into the match. That's not how this works. Apparently, it does work that way. You can just...
Yeah, you just come in
insert yourself and lose.
He's the champion, so it counts.
So he came in, he climbed up on the top rope, he came off the top rope, Diesel fucking knocked him out, Jack knifed him and won the match.
He saw, he got his ass kicked.
He got his ass kicked and got conquered.
That's the quote, right?
Yeah, I think so. I believe that's a famous quote by somebody. I don't know who it was.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, see.
We came, we saw, we kicked their ass. That's Ghostbusters.
Your ass.
I just, changed it a bit.
Winka, winka, winka.
Because Owen did not kick some ass. He came in, got his ass kicked. It's like, you had a baby. Now lose this match real quick.
So here again, I always say I'm going to, but taking a plate, this makes me want to watch the Raw after this. Just to see what kind of shit Owen has to say.
Yeah, well, he probably took some time off.
Yeah, for his kid. Yeah,
he just had a baby. This way, you take the titles off of you, so
you can have some time.
You can have some time off for the babies.
Yeah, getting a little fight with Yoko or something. I don't know. But...
Yeah, he might show up on Raw to have a fight and then he walks out or something.
So now they have all the gold. By the way, before I forget, we'll bring this up. I said this only happened one other time in the WWE, and that was in 2001 at Backlash. And the difference in this, though, now at the time, Kane and Taker were the tag champs. Triple H was the world champ. Stone Cold was the Intercontinental champ. They were the two-man power trip. But what was different about this match...
No, I don't ever remember.
You don't remember the two-man power trip?
I don't remember Triple H and Stone Cold ever working together.
Yeah, it's when Austin turned bad, and they became the two-man power trip. When they were supposed to be the ultimate bad guys, because Triple H had the world title, Stone Cold had the Intercontinental, and they actually won the tag titles in this match. But the stipulation that was different in this one, though, was in this match, whoever scored for Kane and Undertaker, if whoever scored the victory, that person would be world champion, and the other partner would get the Intercontinental. So literally in this match, all the belts were on the line. See what I'm saying? So if Taker would have got the pin to win, he would have been world champ. Kane would have got the. But no, Stone Cold and Triple H won that match, and they had all the belts. I thought it was going to be a really cool storyline, and then Triple H fucking tore his quads or something. It was out for several months, so it ended before it really started.
Yeah, I don't ever remember.
But this was when Austin did the heel turn he said he regretted at WrestleMania, and then him and Triple H became a team, and they had all the gold. And they were the two-man power trip.
I don't remember that name.
Yeah.
I don't remember them ever being... Was this around the time... Okay, so...
This was around 2000, 2001.
Shortly after 2000... I got married, and I really didn't watch. I didn't watch wrestling for about 5 years.
Okay, so
I know a lot of people got annoyed with Triple H because he was always around the title. I never watched that, so
we talked about
love for Triple H was never spoiled.
I did watch it, and I didn't. That's so. I don't for 1 minute think that it's again. We talked about this with Charlotte and stuff earlier. It's still talent. I don't care who you're fucking. You know what I mean? I don't think the world title was on Triple H all the time because he was sleeping with Stephanie, but that's just my opinion. I mean,
you know, it's hard to argue.
There were
now
a lot
he's literally running WWE.
He is. But at that time, see, to be fair, at that time, there were a lot of injuries too, and no one ever brings that up. It's Triple H. It's always Triple H. Then people thought he buried Booker T when he beat him at Mania. You know, whatever.
I'm kind of looking forward to seeing
this stuff you didn't get to see.
Because, you know, like I said, I didn't really get to see this. I'm also looking forward to, you know, one thing I never really got to, you know, they came back and it was like nothing to me, but Evolution. I never got to see Evolution when they were around.
I'm excited to watch this stuff with you.
That was around the time Evolution came around.
Evolution was great.
I never saw Brock. Maybe I wouldn't hate the whole thing with Brock Lesnar as much if I got to see him when he was younger, when he came out. So, you know, I didn't get to see Randy Orton's rise.
Man, you missed a lot, yeah.
I mean, that's
I'm excited to watch that with you.
I was married
some good stuff.
We didn't have cable. We didn't watch wrestling.
And I missed a few.
And I didn't have DVR. That wasn't a thing back
TiVo.
then.
You didn't have your TiVo?
Yeah, I didn't have TiVo. I didn't have a nice app to get on it. You know,
I missed some of that stuff too, so that'll be exciting. There was a few years in there in the 2000s that I missed too. So
but we're getting close to a time that I probably did see some of these, so I'm curious how much I'll remember on a lot of them. Obviously, I've watched it a couple times. I've seen the Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker and Mankind, so that one will,
There's some that stick out
practically fresh in my mind. I watched it at my brother's house not too long ago, maybe a year ago. Right. So, I mean, some of them obviously, but full pay-per-views around that time. I'm curious what it's going to be like.
Definitely.
Another one that's going to be fun is me and Craig on my other podcast, Pro Wrestling Apologist. We watched a 1999. Was it Fully Loaded? I think it was. That
did happen in '99. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the one where was it Sable came out with the hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got to see Val Venus. It was actually a good show.
Yeah, we didn't even get no Sunny on this in your house.
No Sunny.
No females except for Alondra, but she was just
we got Alondra
pushing shirts.
Pushing shirts.
Selling a shirt of something that didn't even happen. You're false advertising that Owen... Well, I guess he was in the main event for a few seconds.
They also a false advertisement because it says it's in your house. There was a house there, but they kept leaving the house.
They kept leaving
the house. They
do still have the house, though, as the stage set. You still do have, like, the house stage.
They should be going in the house. It's in
Why
your
are you
house.
leaving the house?
That makes no sense.
Overall, pretty good main event. Better than we've seen in the last few. You know, Diesel's been getting stuck with some shitty main events. You know, but the overall was a good main event. It was entertaining because Shawn Michaels was gold. Every time. Good match, entertaining, weird ending, but it was still hilarious because I love the fact that Owen came out to save the match and got beaten like 30 fucking seconds. They were better off without you.
Yeah.
You know. So, it's not quite, you know, I'm not going to get real high on this show, but I'll go 3.5 on this one. You know, I'll go 3.5, 3.5 jackknives.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was good. I like the chaos at the end.
Chaos is always good, especially in these kind of matches.
I'm going to go 3 lethal British Bulldogs because he's a lethal weapon.
Lethal weapon. Which, by the way, I found it great, too. The Bulldog was prepared because he had some different trunks with him and a jacket.
Yeah, it was between the lethal British Bulldog or Bonzao.
Oh, Bon's ass is broke.
Bonzao!
That was probably worse than any bonsai he ever hit because we've talked about this before. We've both been in a ring. It wasn't like he was landing on a mattress. That's not.
No, he was not. All right. Well, it is time
to pick some matches.
That's right.
Favorite match of the night.
All right. Well, favorite match of the night. Pretty easy pick, I guess. I don't know. I thought about it for a minute, but I'm going to go with the main event. I'm going to go with the main event for my favorite match of the night.
Main event. I think the one that had the most entertainment and everything for me was the Razor Ramon
Dean Douglas. Yeah.
Dean Douglas match.
Can't argue with that.
Even though fucking Bob Backlund was there, he didn't spoil it for me.
It was like
it was a decent match.
You could have picked quite a few of them. I think nothing really. It wasn't a bad pay-per-view, but nothing was like not one match was more over the top than another one, so I can't argue with that pick.
Yeah,
there's a couple of them you could have picked.
This was pretty much mostly average and bad.
Yeah, I mean,
there wasn't anything.
There wasn't any spectacular over the top moments, but there were a couple bad ones, and everything else was kind of average. Yeah, that's a good description, but I can't argue that. Razor and Dean was a good match.
Yep.
Can't argue.
Worst match of the night.
All right, well, this was easy. Waylon versus Savio. I don't even gotta
First match.
The kickoff match was so bad.
You picked 0. I picked 0.5.
Yeah. And especially after the bar got set so high after the last pay-per-view with the kickoff match, this was horrible. Waylon Mercy was a bad idea. Spivey
last
was way
pay-per-view,
past.
the first match could have been the best match.
Yeah.
I almost considered it for the best match. Maybe I did. I don't remember.
No, you talked about it and you did consider it because we talked about it. You might have picked it.
I don't remember if I picked it or not. But
I remember being a discussion. But yeah, this Waylon versus Savio was definitely the worst.
Oh, it was terrible.
It was a horrible way to kick off the fucking pay-per-view.
Waylon Mercy should not be on a pay-per-view.
I mean,
on Raw or anywhere that requires.
The match shouldn't have been on there, but you could have maybe started with Sid instead, or I don't know. But that was definitely not the way to start the pay-per-view.
Or get rid of that fucking match.
Let Triple H
Put
fight.
Triple H.
Fatu.
Let Undertaker. Let literally
anybody that was in one of those 4 dark matches could have took that spot.
Sad thing is, those dark matches were probably better than almost any match on this show.
Probably.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe not.
There was a couple.
Yeah, there were a couple.
There was a couple average, decent matches. So unless they were,
the really only super bad one was the first one. That was the only bad one. The second one was okay, but yeah, the kickoff match sucked.
The second one didn't get. Second one would have been the worst match if the first match wasn't so fucking shit.
Oh shit!
All right. Well, we don't really have a jingle, or we don't really have a set, but we've got 3 different In Your Houses.
Yes.
So, what are you thinking? Do you have a ranking for this?
Yeah, and it's pretty easy for me too. And I'm just going to start with my favorite to least favorite. I'm going to go right in order. 1, 2, 3.
Really?
Yeah, 1's still my favorite.
I feel like
2's my second, and this one is my least favorite.
Well, this is definitely my least favorite.
And the first one's still my favorite.
The second one was my favorite. I think we liked the second one quite a bit.
We did, yeah. Yeah, we like them both. Yeah. He's trying to remember.
I'm trying to remember.
You go 2, 1, 3.
I think it was, for me, it was...
2's your favorite? And
2, 3, or 2, 1,
3.
3. Yeah, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
2, 1, 3. I'm 1, 2, 3. You're 2, 1, 3. Easy enough to remember. It's not that bad. So there we go. We ranked our 3 In Your Houses. And of course, like we like to do around here, we got to do some cheap plugging. Because we like to plug our pluggables.
We do.
We do. And you got a lot of them. You're everywhere.
I do. You can find me on Dragon Blazer Productions on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now TikTok.
TikToks.
And you can find me on Dragon Blazer Pro on the Twitter.
Because they don't let you type anything out.
That's right.
You can find the show. We have the great Facebook page, the Boomer and Blaze Show Facebook page, and you can also find the show on Twitter and on Instagram at Boomer_Blaze. And then if you'd like to contact the show in some other way other than all our pages, you can actually email us at boomerandblazeshow@gmail.com. So that'll do it for this week. And next time we talk to you, October is going to be over. So everyone have a safe and amazing Halloween. Until next time, I am Boomer.
And I'm Blaze.
Good night from Dragon Blazer Studios.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. He did the monster mash. From my love Natari in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abode roads to catch a jolt from my electrodes. They did the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. It did the Monster Mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking, oh, we're digging the sounds. Igor on chains, backed by his baying hound. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker 5. They played the Monster Mash, and it was a graveyard smash. It's caught on in a flash. They played the Monster Mash. Out from his coffin, Drac's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to my Transylvania twist?"
It's now the mash.
It's now the Monster Mash.
Monster mash.
It's now a graveyard smash.
Now the mash.
It's caught on in a flash.
Now the mash.
It's now the Monster Mash. Now everything's cool, Drac's a part of the band. And my Monster Mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent
You
you.
can mash.
Then you can Monster Mash.
Monster mash.
And do my graveyard
You
smash.
can mash.
You'll catch on with a flash.
You can mash.
Then you can Monster Mash. Mash! Ooh. Easy, Igor, you impetuous young boy. Mash! Ooh. Mash! Ooh. Easy, Igor. Easy, Igor.
Hey everyone, this is Blaze from the Ragin' Blaze and the Boomer and Blaze show. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more wrestling content.